My jerky is now a sought-after potluck item in at least 4 states. I thought it was a great time to do a little jerky video. This one here is a chili-flavored beef jerky recipe with ground beef. It's a relatively elaborate jerky recipe. We could certainly create simpler jerkies, but I came up with this jerky recently. People like it, so I thought I'd do a quick video on making it. Chili needs peppers, so here I have a red bell pepper and a jalapeno pepper. You could certainly do some other peppers. You could do some hot peppers. You could also use some dried peppers, I think, but in this case I'm just going to use these bellwether peppers. I'm going to remove the seeds and the ribs, and then I'm going to bake these peppers for a few minutes, 15 minutes I'd say for the jalapenos, a little longer for the bell peppers. You can see here, there they are in the oven. Once these come out of the oven, I like to remove the skin from this red bell pepper here as if we were just roasting peppers for some other dish. This isn't essential to do this, but when we cook these peppers, then this skin just becomes very easy to remove. On the jalapenos, it's not as easy to remove immediately, so I don't try and pull it off immediately here, but as you can see, once we start cutting up these jalapenos, you can sort of peel off a little bit of the skin there. So then we're going to just dice these peppers as fine as we can. And the reason we're cooking these peppers at first is, as we'll see later when we load this stuff into the jerky gun, if these peppers are raw and they still have all their shape and their firmness, they clog up the jerky gun, and then you got a jerky disaster in your hands. So here we cook the peppers, we peel off some of the skin, and we get them diced up, and then our peppers are ready to go. Our other ingredients are going to be, of course, a pound of ground beef. We have some tomato paste, some minced dehydrated onion, and we have a chili powder rub from World Spice in Seattle. Now, when you're using a blend like this, check and see if it has salt. This one, you see a little label in there, it doesn't have salt. And since it doesn't have salt, we have to add salt. Thus, we have some kosher salt back there to use. Once we start doing this here, I like to flatten out the beef a little. This way, if you have an ingredient where you haven't already pre-measured how much you're going to use, you can just season this flattened ground beef right here as if you're preparing ground beef for some other dish. So here we're going to throw on the peppers, the red pepper, the jalapeno pepper. I'm going to use 2 heaping tablespoons of tomato paste. As far as the dehydrated onion, I like onion, so you're going to see a nice generous dose of onion here. As far as the chili powder blend, I know from experience with this blend that it's 1 teaspoon for every 8 ounces of beef. So in this case, we got a pound of beef, so we're going to use 2 teaspoons. Once we have all the seasonings there and all the peppers, and then we, forgot about the kosher salt right there. We're just going to eyeball that. That's probably more than a teaspoon, less than 2. Once we have all that, we mix these ingredients very well. We get on our plastic glove and we knead and we press and we manipulate this pile until it's a good fully integrated pile of beef. And then we're going to hit it with, yes, you guessed it, our jerky gun that I mentioned earlier. These guns are available from your favorite retailer who might sell such things. As you can see here, there's actually a number of attachments for the shape of the product to come out. There's sort of some Slim Jim style cylinders there. But for this round, I'm going to use this that generates flat strips of jerky, this one right here. So we get our dehydrator trays. We load some ground beef into the jerky gun. And then we just start shooting out our jerky. It's usually 2 squeezes of the trigger for every strip. So we'll start squirting those out. Give them a little bit of spacing on the tray so that air circulates. You're going to find a pound of ground beef is going to be about 4 trays on this dehydrator. Well, once we shoot out all the beef, there's more beef to come. So we then load up and do some more. And again, that'll come out. There'll be about 4 trays. Now, what do we do with chili in real life? We throw toppings on it. So we're going to throw some toppings on some of these jerky also. We got some shredded cheese, and we got some sour cream, So I'm gonna put these toppings on the jerky. I'm gonna paint on the sour cream. It'll evaporate when it's in the dehydrator, so you can be a little generous. Then I'm gonna sprinkle on cheese. I'm gonna do 2 trays of jerky with this topping and 2 trays without it. And then we just fire it up 160 degrees for 4 hours in the dehydrator. Take it on out. The jerky's done and it's beautiful. Let this cool, serve, and have happy clientele.